Good evening and welcome to Coventry Speedway for tonight's return Elite League fixture, the Coventry Bees versus the Peterborough Panthers. So far it's been a very good Friday indeed, the Panthers running out 46-44 winners in this morning's meeting at the East of England Showground. A simply stupendous meeting with no quarter being asked or given, with the result not decided until the final few yards of Heat 15. So if tonight's match-up between the sides is half as good, we'll be in for a fantastic meeting. The Bees call upon Chris Harris this evening to guest for the injured Hans Anderson. So the Bees will be looking to him and skipper Edward Kennett to repel the challenge of the Panthers. Of course, it's a Panthers challenge led by three-times world champion Nicky Pedersen, and he was in tremendous form this morning, dropping just 1 point in a 14-punt haul. Also in great form this morning was Norbert Koschuk, who pulled off a sensational ride in heat number 14 to defeat the previously unbeaten Shamek Pavlishki. Shamek returns tonight for the Bees despite a foot injury sustained when he hit the safety fence at the East of England Showground, but some treatment to the foot has seen him declared fit and ready for tonight's return. Two lineups then for this evening. At number 1 for the Bees guesting is Chris Harris, rider replacement in operation at number 2 for the absent Richard Sweetman. At number 3 it's Ryan Fisher. Kenny Larson rides at number 4. Number 5 is skipper Edward Kennett, and the two reserves this evening, Nick Morris at 6 and Shamek Pavlishki at number 7. For the Ready Power Panthers, it's Nicky Pedersen at 1, number 2 is Linus Sundstrom, number 3 Kasper Gomolski, at 4 Krzysztof Pyskowski, at 5 it's Troy Batchelor, at number 6 it's Norbert Koschuk, and at number 7 it's Richard Lawson. So it's Coventry against Peterborough in the Elite League here at Brandon, and over now to your commentator, Dave Rowe.
So we are off and running for the second meeting of the day. We're back at Coventry against Peterborough after a quick turnaround this afternoon, and it was a fantastic meeting at the showground earlier in the day. The Panthers nicking it by a couple of points. The Bees looking for revenge tonight. They have Chris Harris as their guest at number 1 for the injured Hans Anderson. Could be a long-term injury as well, it would appear, for Anderson, who of course fell over whilst out running and has broken his foot. He's had it plated, and it's obviously an early injury concern for the Bees that could see them without Anderson for, it would appear, a substantial part of the season. So we'll have to see on that one. But Chris Harris is, in theory, an ideal choice of guest, and he scored 12 points for Bellevue against Wolverhampton earlier today. Partnered here by Shamek Pavlishki, the Bees using rider replacement for their double-up riders who are unavailable tonight. Then it's Linus Sundstrom, who's in yellow, and Nicky Pedersen, who's in white. Nicky Pedersen scoring 14 from 5 for the Panthers this morning, out and out number 1, as he is, beaten only by Edward Kennett in his second ride, but he was quick, Nicky Pedersen, today at the East of England Showground. It was 46-44, so Coventry took a point from the meeting, the Panthers took 2. See what they can make of this evening's return fixture. Graham Reeve is the referee. There's a fantastic crowd inside Brandon. Great to see on Good Friday. And here we go with the opening race. Green light comes on and away they go. And it's a good start by Pavlishki. Harris gets squeezed out. Pedersen gets to the bend in front. Harris goes round the outside to get the place off. But Linus Sundstrom. Sundstrom will try and come past him. It's Pavlishki moving clear into second place. Harris in third with Sundstrom at the back. But Nicky Pedersen making a lovely start from the outside. Out trapping Chris Harris. It's Pavlishki in second place. Harris in third. Pavlishki out of shape on the second bend. He hits the fence, rides the fence and drops his place to Linus Sundstrom, and Pavlishki goes to the back. So now can he regain ground? It's Pedersen with the advantage, Harris in second place, Sundstrom in third, and Pavlishki out the back. He was in stellar form this morning with Pavlishki. Did pick up a foot injury when he clobbered the fence. He never came off his bike, but he clobbered the fence, and that was not ideal. He still rode in heat 15, and he's still putting the pace on here, trying to regain ground on Linus Sundstrom. Nicky Pedersen leads, Chris Harris in second place. Battle still just about on for third, although Sundstrom, I think, has it just about covered. Pavlishki is gaining ground again on the back straight for the final time, but the Panthers look set to open up here with a 4-2 in the opening race. Nicky Pedersen wins over Chris Harris. It's Sundstrom hanging on for third, and Pavlishki, who made a mistake at the start of lap 2, clobbered the fence, the air fence that was, rode it basically, and up the back straight, then in last place, losing out to Linus Sundstrom. So Nicky Pedersen continuing his winning ways where he left off this morning, and the second place goes to Chris Harris. Linus Sundstrom in third place, and it's Coventry 2 and Peterborough 4.
There he goes. Even the win then for the big man as well, Nicky Pedersen. Right here on Martin, flying start this evening, perhaps not for the one who showed, but it ripped up.
Extra time allowed for Pavlishki as he makes his way onto the track for the reserves race, partnered by Nick Morris, who rides in red. It's Norbert Koschuk who goes in white, and Richard Lawson in yellow, making his Peterborough debut as the doubling up rider along with Dakota North. And North having made the trip to Somerset this evening after racing it to the showground earlier today. Koschuk, who was injured for the challenge match here earlier in the season, injured after a frightening crash in Poland at the start of the campaign, but he produced one of the rides, or absolute key rides this morning, when he got Pawlicki on the line in heat 14 after Pawlicki had passed him earlier in the race. Koskuch won't have happy memories of Coventry, an absolute nightmare here last August when he failed to score and was most notable for wiping out Kenny Larson, his then teammate on the night when they were on a clear 5-1. But Koskuch on an average of 3.5 in the Panthers ranks at reserve, going to be one of the steals at reserve, because he certainly showed last season he could score points at this level, particularly around the showground. It's Koskuch who has the inside gate in white, Morris in red off gate 2. It's Lawson who goes in yellow off gate 3, and Pawlicki in blue off the outside. Green lights on then for heat 2, and away they go. Morris lifts and they're beaten to the bend, although Lawson is passed by Pawlicki on the way in. He tries to go round the outside. Lawson has got Morris though on the way out, and meanwhile it is Norbert Koskuch here who has the advantage as Pawlicki tries to go round him off turn 4, but makes a slight mistake, and it's Norbert Koskuch with the advantage over Przemek Pawlicki. Pawlicki is trying to pass him, trying to turn back off the second bend, but it's still Koskuch with the advantage. I said he had a nightmare here last season, but looking much better this time around. Pawlicki is close, but can he make a passing move as Koskuch swings out wide off the fourth bend? The pole looking fast. His fellow pole is still moving in second place. Lawson runs a third over Morris. Will be disappointed to have missed out in the early stages, but the battle is on big time at the front as Pawlicki takes a big blast round the outside. Koskuch covers him off though, and with 1 lap to go, it's still Norbert Koskuch over Przemek Pawlicki. They had some great battles earlier in the day, and Koskuch makes a big mistake, and Pawlicki will come on the inside. Koskuch did make the mistake, and Pawlicki takes full advantage and comes round turns 3 and 4 with the advantage and the race victory. It's Przemek Pawlicki with the win. Second place Norbert Koskuch, and third is Richard Lawson. And that is an open goal accepted by Pawlicki. Koskuch have ridden 3 and a bit perfect laps, but he came off the second bend, just got it wrong, almost hit the fence exiting 2. Pawlicki read it, cut back, and takes the race victory for the Bees. Pawlicki over Koskuch, with Lawson in third place over Morris, and with 2 heats gone, it's Coventry 5 and Peterborough 7. Ryan Fisher coming back to the pits, and there was a rather worrying noise out of Ryan Fisher's bike as he came round. Unfortunately, the mechanic is there as Ryan Fisher has some last minute adjustments made. That appears to be okay, and he's on his way around. He was spectacular this morning. 3 race wins, a full part in that dramatic heat 15 when he eventually finished second, and an unfortunate fall in heat 10 when he'd actually overtaken Linus Sundstrom into the final bend. Fisher was full of effort, full of drive and full of determination, and looking to be a powerful weapon for the Bees. Mounted on new machinery this weekend. Partnered with Kenny Larson, who had a disappointing meeting this morning, really his first disappointing meeting of the season for Coventry when he didn't win a race. He had a paid win with Fisher in their first ride. This heat 3 actually went 5-1 to Coventry this morning. It went 5-1 because Fisher actually took Bukowski wide on the first bend, and that allowed Larson to come through to join him for maximum points. So we'll see what they'll do in the return tonight. It is Larson going in blue off the inside, Gomolski in white off gate 2, his first appearance at Brandon. Fisher in red off gate 3, and Bukowski goes in green off the outside, yellow off the outside with the green light on, and away they go. And a great start from the outside by Christoph Bukowski. Fisher tries to move him aside, but Bukowski won't be pushed aside. The pole makes a terrific fast start. We saw him make some fast starts this morning. Fisher goes roaring into that third bend, trying to make a move, and Bukowski goes right across the corner. Fisher gets down the inside. Can he block off Bukowski? Bukowski in big trouble, keeps it well done though. What a ride by the pole. Bukowski keeps on going, and he still leads Ryan Fisher into the third bend. That was some ride by Bukowski, and it's still going on off the fourth because Bukowski leads, but he's not really pointing the right way all the time, and Fisher just doesn't need to dive in too much here because Bukowski might make another mistake, but Bukowski in fact is pulling clear of Fisher now with Larson in third place and Gomolski at the back. It was such an exciting opening lap, and Bukowski still has it after a great start and a wild ride on 4, and Ryan Fisher still doing all he can to get to Christoph Bukowski, but Bukowski won't be moved over, and this is some ride here by Bukowski, who's full of entertainment, and as I say, he nearly got it wrong early on as Gomolski does get it wrong as he tries to pass Larson, and Christoph Bukowski wins heat 3 for the Panthers over Ryan Fisher and Kenny Larson. Quite some battle there. Bukowski making a great move in the early stages, and then it looked like it was all going to go horribly wrong on turns 3 and 4 when he shot across the track. It gave Fisher the run up the inside, but Bukowski, and Fisher to be fair, left him space on the way out of turn 2, and Christoph Bukowski retook the race lead and took the race victory as a result. Good racing, and the Panthers certainly coming here with the attempt to try and get an away win on the board. Going to be a close contest tonight. Bukowski with the win, Fisher second, Larson third, 3 apiece, Coventry 8, Peterborough 10. Narrow lead then for the Panthers with 3 heats gone. They lead by 10 points to 8. Edward Kennett's first ride of the evening, blistering here last Friday with a 15-point maximum. Started off that way today at the showground. 2 wins, a narrow defeat to Bukowski, and then he was off a very unfavourable gate 4 in Heat 13, couldn't make it work, but it's been a great start to the season for the Coventry new captain. He rides in red, Nick Morris riding in blue, replacing Szamek Pawliczki. The Bees have got to be careful how they deploy their reserve strength tonight. Troy Batchelor rides in white off the outside, Richard Lawson in yellow, and Batchelor certainly involved in a lot of the key action in the closing stages this morning, twice passing the Coventry guest Niels Christian Everson in Heats 11 and 13, and of course salvaging or holding on to that third place also in Heat 15 that made sure of a 2-point Panthers win. They're 2 points up here tonight as the riders come into line for Heat 4, and away they go, and it's a fast start by Edward Kennett. Good 1-2 by Nick Morris. Batchelor will give the run around the outside. Now he'll try and cut back. Lawson cuts back on Morris, and Batchelor gets down the inside of Kennett into bend 3. They'll battle round the bend, and it's still Edward Kennett from Troy Batchelor, and it's Nick Morris emerging from bend 4 in third place ahead of Richard Lawson. Great first lap of Speedway, and Edward Kennett has the advantage over Troy Batchelor. Morris in third, which is a good effort because it looked like Lawson had made a pretty clever cutback off the second bend to get that place, but Morris got it back at the same time as Kennett was making his way around the outside of Troy Batchelor. Great battling in the early stages, and Kennett has the advantage. Takes a look back. Batchelor is no threat to him now, and the Coventry captain has the advantage. He goes round turns 3 and 4 for the third time. They look set to level the scores here in Heat 4. Very competitive meeting indeed, just as we saw this morning at Peterborough, and it is still Edward Kennett over Troy Batchelor with Nick Morris in third place and Richard Lawson at the back, and it's the first win of the night, and it's another win at Brandon for the in-form Edward Kennett, who takes Heat 4 over Troy Batchelor with Nick Morris in third place and Richard Lawson at the back. 4-2 to Coventry as they level the scores at 12 points apiece, and a good battling action between Edward Kennett and Troy Batchelor on the first lap of Heat number 4, and as they were doing that, Nick Morris was retaking third place over Richard Lawson. So a 4-2 to the Bees, and after 4 heats we're locked all square. Coventry 12, Peterborough 12. Heat 5 then, Ryan Fisher and Kenny Larson, Nicky Pedersen and Lena Sundstrom, competitive looking lineup. And as I mentioned at the when Peterborough were here in the challenge match earlier in the season a couple of weeks ago now, it is a good effort by the Panthers management. The team they've put together, obviously they lost Pierre, they lost Everson, they made the move to sign Nicky Pedersen, which is great to have him back on a 10.5 point average. It doesn't leave you too much to slot in riders into a 40-point limit. They've done it, and it's a good-looking side that I think they were pushed close by Coventry at the showground this morning. I wouldn't mind betting that Kings Lynn will push them close when they visit later in the season, but I do think that Peterborough, as is tradition, will be very strong at home this season, and Coventry, the point they gained there this morning, although they might regard it as points dropped given they led most of the way, when it comes to September they might just look at that win at that point at Peterborough as being a point gained, unless they lose here tonight. Sundstrom in yellow off the inside, Fisher in red off 2, Pedersen white off 3, Larson in blue off the outside. Pedersen's missed the start this time. It's Sundstrom who gets to the bend in front, Fisher who goes around the outside, Pedersen with the cutback, but Fisher with the advantage, and Fisher and Pedersen doesn't do Sundstrom too many favours on the back straight. Sundstrom goes out really wide, and can that bring Larson back into contention? Not really, but Ryan Fisher, in fact Sundstrom has gone back round Nicky Pedersen. He's gone wide as Lena Sundstrom picking up real drive the Swede. This is his best ride at Brandon this season. He's putting the challenge in on Ryan Fisher. How wide is Lena Sundstrom going there? Right round the balls. Ryan Fisher has to go defensive to cover him off. Sundstrom's got plenty of speed, more speed actually than his skipper Nicky Pedersen. Sundstrom, in fact Pedersen's going backwards here as Larson tries to go up the inside of Pedersen into the third bend for the third time. Now Nicky Pedersen goes for the run around the outside, and Kenny Larson pegs the inside and tries to pass him, and Nicky Pedersen just about manages to clamp him off. Pedersen battling away. Larson passes him. Larson passes Nicky Pedersen, and Fisher has the advantage with Sundstrom in second place. Pedersen throws it all back in around the outside, trying to repass Larson. Larson comes across. Fisher, I think, just about hangs on, and Nicky Pedersen is relegated to the back. Would you believe it? In heat number 5, fantastic action. Ryan Fisher and Lena Sundstrom going at it hammer and tongs, and Fisher held on, and Nicky Pedersen just seemed to go backwards during that race, and eventually he was trapped on the inside by Kenny Larson at the start of the last lap, and the Bees get an unexpected 4-2 in heat 5. Ryan Fisher flying at Brandon tonight, he gets the race victory. Second was Sundstrom, who looked very fast. Third was Kenny Larson passing Nicky Pedersen, and it's Coventry 16, Peterborough 14. Pawlicki taking a rider replacement in Heat 6 for the Bees. There was a second bike that appeared on the track for him. He didn't use it, but that's memories of what Thomas Gollob always used to do when he rode in the UK. There always used to be a second bike at the track entrance for him. He didn't always use it, but Pawlicki was offered the second bike, didn't take it, and he is a rider replacement in blue, partnering Chris Harris, who goes off the inside. Troy Batchelor goes off the outside, and his partner is Norbert Kozkuch, who rode a good race in Heat 2 for 3 laps before he was trapped by Pawlicki when Kozkuch made error. There seems to be some kind of issue here, and what we have in fact is 2 Peterborough riders with white helmet colours on, and this is going to be trouble for Norbert Kozkuch, who what's happening now is there's a mechanic coming up to the starting gate to change that white to yellow. And I think they should be able to do it in time. I would think you'll find that Graham Reeve, the referee, will be fairly lenient on this one. Certainly want to see all 4. It's a genuine mistake, and in fact we saw it earlier this morning. I think it was Pawlicki who had to change helmet colours at one point. So that is being corrected, and so the 2-minute warning has to be used if riders are having mechanical trouble. But if it's just a little error like that, I don't think there's any reason to go over the top on it. Kozkuch is in play on the outside here for the Panthers. Harris goes off the inside for the Bees. Batchelor in white off gate 2. Pawlicki, the rider replacement in blue, off gate 3. And Kozkuch goes in yellow off the outside. They fly away. Harris lifts off the inside. He battles with the elbows with Troy Batchelor. Harris takes Batchelor really wide. He pegs the inside. Batchelor gets the run round the outside. Harris comes across to block him. Kozkuch had a change of helmet colour, but it's not doing him much good because he's way at the back. I don't quite know what happened to Kozkuch in the early stages there. I was more concentrating on the elbows going in between Harris and Batchelor. Pawlicki in third place, in trouble on turn 2, but controls it. And on the first lap or so of this race, Coventry ought to be in position for a 4-2, but Pawlicki is again, when he's got designs on, passing Troy Batchelor here as Shemek Pawlicki as Harris leads with Batchelor in second place. Pawlicki turning back on Troy Batchelor with the speed to get it out of the inside, but can't quite make it stick as Batchelor closes the gate, knows where to ride, but Pawlicki making long straights, turning back sharply, locked up slightly, drives down the inside, passes Troy Batchelor, and Coventry have 1 and 2. It's Chris Harris with the advantage. Pawlicki with a belting ride in second place. It's Batchelor in third, Kozkuch in the back. Fantastic action again from Shemek Pawlicki. What a star he is. Chris Bomber Harris wins Heat 6. Second place, Shemek Pawlicki. Troy Batchelor wondering what the heck was going on there, as he was no answer for the speed of Pawlicki turning up the inside, and a 5-1 to Coventry in heat number 6. Cracking stuff. Chris Harris is back. Great to see him at Coventry racing for the Bees tonight. Second place. What a second place it was for Pawlicki. Troy Batchelor was third. Kozkuch at the back, and Coventry establish a 6-point lead. Harris and Pawlicki, Coventry 21, Peterborough 15. Bees then in a 6-point lead, stirring action in Heat 6 from Pawlicki, and we move on to Heat 7 with Edward Kennett and Nick Morris, Kasper Gomolski and Krzysztof Bukowski. And Bukowski rode really well, of course, in his first ride earlier in the meeting. Heat 3, we've seen some excellent action. The track very well prepared indeed. And given the hot conditions we've had in the last few days, the circuit really is looking good, and no dust, good racing lines. And as we've said a couple of times already this season, the riders are on new silencers this year. A few of them have been bitching and whinging about it, but the ones that basically have got on with it are the ones that are making it work, and we're seeing the racing is not being hampered whatsoever by the silencers, because we're still seeing passing on both sides, and it's a case of what the riders, it's a mindset, I think, more than actually anything mechanically. It will be interesting to see how Messrs Gollob and co fare in the first Grand Prix of the season next weekend. Nicky Pedersen, of course, will be there as well, and Chris Harris. Kasper Gomolski riding in white off the inside for Heat 7. Eddie Kennett in red off gate 2. Krzysztof Bukowski in yellow off gate 3. Nick Morris goes in blue off the outside. Coventry 6 up, which looked unlikely at one stage of the meeting early on when the Panthers were looking very fast. Coventry have turned things round. Let's see if they carry it on in Heat 7. They will certainly do with Edward Kennett making a flying start. Bukowski will go for his big blast around the outside, but he finds himself into the fence, and Morris goes as well into the fence. Now Morris has got himself up very quickly indeed. Bukowski has disappeared under the fence, and it will be interesting to see what Graham Reeve does about that. I think that Bukowski probably went himself, and indeed the yellow disqualification light goes on, but Nick Morris, who very quickly got himself out of the fence, who I think may have fallen unconnected, although they were pretty close going in down there. Nick Morris quickly got himself out, and it looks like it's just the rider in yellow who is disqualified, Krzysztof Bukalski. It was a very tough first bend with Edward Kennett, but I was pretty convinced at the time there had been no contact, and indeed Graham Reeve has put the yellow disqualification light on for Krzysztof Bukalski, who's disqualified and still being attended to there. It was quite a heavy trip into the fence, as it was indeed for Nick Morris too, but Kennett got to the bend in front, and Bukalski lost it himself, and he went down and Morris went as well. And I don't think that Trevor Swales will have too many complaints about the referee's verdict, but the good news is that Krzysztof Bukalski is up and about and will be able to continue in the meeting. Spectacular action there on turn 2, but it looks like there's no damage done, and it will be a restart with 3 riders only. Restart then of Heat 7, one Panthers rider, Kasper Gomolski riding off the inside gate. Edward Kennett going in red off gate 2. Nick Morris riding in blue off the outside. He did give himself a bit of a knock in a rather delicate position, we're told, after in that trip into the fence, but Speedway riders do get back on the bike pretty quickly. He's doing just that off the outside. Restart of Heat 7, Bees 6 in front. They'll look to extend that here, unless Gomolski can come up with a fast start. They can outgate Edward Kennett. Kasper Gomolski gets the advantage with Kennett in second. Kennett goes to the line straight round the outside, but the Gomolski has the advantage. Kennett will chase him down, but a great start by Gomolski, and Kennett looking to make a passing move. Gomolski swings out really wide. Kennett turns down the inside. Gomolski just about has it into the second lap, but I think if Kennett just turns back, he'll have it. But Gomolski gets a good line off the corner. He's going to ride wide. Of course, he's a pole, and he'll love the wide open spaces, but will he ride himself too wide? That's the question. And Kennett, if he just moves in, might be able to get down the inside. Morris in third place, but it's Gomolski with the lead, but he's going so fast, Gomolski. If Kennett pegs the inside, then he might still be able to pass him. This is a good ride by the 18-year-old, limiting damage here for the Panthers caused by the crash by Bukalski, and so far he's got the pace to hold off Edward Kennett. Gomolski leads on to his last lap, had a miserable morning, but looks like he's turning his day round here with a really good ride in heat number 7. He's seen off Edward Kennett, and I think the Panthers will fear, especially after Bukalski came to grief. That'll be a good escape for them. What a good ride by Kasper Gomolski to take the flag in heat 7 for the Panthers. Second place Edward Kennett, Nick Morris in third, 3-3, and Peterborough will be happy with that after the problem for Bukalski at the first staging. Gomolski has limited damage for them with a really good win over Edward Kennett, who I think would have felt he may have had it on the first bend, but Gomolski rode him just wide enough. Good ride. Teenage pole, another new name for us this season, another one we're going to have to watch out for. Gomolski with the win, Kennett second, Morris third, 3 apiece. Coventry 24, Peterborough 18. On we go to Heat 8 with Kenny Larson taking the rider replacement ride here for the Bees. His partner is Shamak Pavlichki. It's Linus Sundstrom and Richard Lawson for the Panthers, who basically all of the Panthers riders so far have shown pace during the meeting. What they haven't all done is put together 2 consistent rides apiece, so their score chart is all very mixed. You've got race wins for Pedersen, Gomolski and Bukalski, and all those 3 riders have also no scored in their other rides. So if they can put it together in the second half of the meeting, then Coventry are going to have a battle on their hands in the final stages of the contest. 24-18 in the Bees' favour. Larson with the rider replacement here in Heat 8. He is the rider just above the Sweetman-McGowan combination in the averages, so always likely to have this Heat 8 along with Pavlichki. Sundstrom and Lawson have it here for the Panthers. Lawson going off the inside gate, Pavlichki off gate 2, Sundstrom off gate 3, Larson going off the outside. Here we go then with the green light on from Graham Reeve, and they fly away after a longer hold that time, and a great start by the Panthers. Lawson's made the start, Sundstrom's made the start, Larson trying to turn back, and Lawson holds that second place for now. Larson's gone round him into the bend, but Sundstrom's got the advantage. The Panthers will be delighted with that, and can Pavlichki? Yes, he can. Pavlichki can come past Richard Lawson, and Larson holding that inside line which he used to such good effect against Nicky Pedersen, but he's going to have to work hard to catch Linus Sundstrom from there. The Panthers have got some race winners on the board here tonight, and they're riding the right line. Larson in second place, Pavlichki in third, and they're going to find it hard to make any sort of a challenge here on Sundstrom. Pavlichki holds that to third place. They were out-trapped by Richard Lawson from the inside. They had to work their way past him on the first lap, which allowed Sundstrom to get away, which he's done, and the Bees run second and third. Larson just comes off the line slightly, and Pavlichki down his inside. Larson just dropped in, allows Pavlichki to go past him. the Bees trading places, but they're trading places some way behind. Linus Sundstrom is going to become the second consecutive race winner here for the Panthers in heat number 8. Great win for Linus Sundstrom. The Bees run second and third, and it is Richard Lawson out the back, so a share of the spoils leaves the gap at 6 points, and there's plenty of pace about these Panthers riders. When they make the start, they hit the lines and they take the advantage. So victory, Linus Sundstrom in that one. The score is 27-21 in Coventry's favour, and it was a good ride by Sundstrom, taking full advantage of the Bees, having to fight their way past the traffic as they went through. Pawlicki in second place, Larson in third, and it's Coventry 27, Peterborough 21. Heat 9 then, with Ryan Fisher riding in red, Kenny Larson for his second ride on the trot in blue, Troy Batchelor in white, Norbert Koskuch goes in yellow. Larson's not had a great day. Obviously it was a good ride to pass Pedeston in heat 5, but struggled a bit this morning at the showground, and he's picked up 3 third places so far tonight. Yet to see any of the explosive starting that we've seen from him so far this season. So I think as far as Coventry are concerned, now would be a good time to show it. But so far the Panthers have found some nice lines around the outside. What they haven't managed to do yet is notch any big advantages. They've only had the one advantage so far. That was in heat 1 when Pawlicki made a mistake. Can they get 2 of their riders to the first bend in front? Batchelor on the inside, Larson gate 2, Koskuch gate 3, Fisher off the outside. Away they go, short to hold that time. Larson's missed the gate completely. Not a great one by Fisher either. It's so tight going to that first bend. Fisher is so wide, Larson cut back and he's in second place. Batchelor leads, but Ryan Fisher was left with nowhere to go in a really tough first corner, and it's Troy Batchelor who race leads for the Panthers. But Larson moving in to challenge. Larson with a great ride down the inside of Batchelor. Batchelor keeps it wound on round the outside, didn't quite work out. Fisher battling hard to try and salvage third off Koskuch. If he doesn't dive in too early, Fisher should pass Koskuch, I would think, but he goes so wide. Ryan Fisher off the fourth bend, and has he passed Koskuch? He has, yes. Koskuch isn't going to play in that one, and Koskuch almost hit the back of Ryan Fisher in front there. Fisher's got the third, but Larson has got more pace this time, and he's chasing hard after Troy Batchelor with just a lap to go. Koskuch at the back now. Fisher has salvaged third after a tough first bend. It's Batchelor with the advantage. He's on that fast outside line. Larson trying the inside, just about has it, I think, here. Troy Batchelor, a third Panthers race win on the way in succession here in heat 9, but quite some action as Troy Batchelor comes off the bend. Larson finishing fast. Batchelor gets the victory. Larson in second place, Fisher in third, and another shared heat in heat 9. Frantic racing here tonight, and Kenny Larson so nearly got the better of Troy Batchelor on that second lap, but meanwhile Ryan Fisher had been left with nowhere to go on the first bend. In a really tight competitive corner it was, and he had to work hard to repass Norbert Koskuch for the third place. That's the third successive Panthers heat winner, third successive shared heat. The gap is still 6 points. It's Coventry 30, Peterborough 24. 30-24, 3 successive shared heats. Can we find a breakthrough in heat 10? Very hard to call this one. We've got Chris Harris riding in red, who's got a race win, Przemek Pawlicki, who's got a race win, Kasper Gomolski likewise, and Krzysztof Bukalski. So in the first 9 heats, all of these 4 riders have won 1 race. Pawlicki is a busy boy, as you'd expect, with it's his 5th ride of the meeting, and he will surely ride on for 7, I would think. Here he's got his own race in heat 12, and presumably he'll also ride in heat 14 in place of Nick Morris if the match situation dictates it. Pawlicki is carrying a foot injury sustained at Peterborough this morning, as I mentioned earlier, when he clobbered the fence. So riding through the pain barrier. The Bees do get a fortnight off. It seems a bit bizarre after the late start to the season that they now have to take a fortnight off before they face Wolverhampton here on Friday the 6th of May, but that's what's going on. It's going to be a busy time for Coventry mid-season. Particularly August is going to be very busy indeed as they try and it's going to, once again, inevitably with the way the fixtures shake out, it's going to be a mad dash for the playoffs. They're going to be coming from behind as they've done so often in the past, but they'd like to get 3 points on the board here tonight. Bukalski goes in yellow off the inside. It's Pawlicki in blue off gate 2, just being shifted across there by the start marshal. Riding in white off gate 3 is Kasper Gomolski, and Chris Harris goes in red off the outside. Here we go then with heat number 10. start marshal walks away. Green light comes on from Graham Reeve. They fly away from the start. Pawliczki's missed that one. The poles have gated for the Panthers. Bukowski holding the inside line. Pawliczki shooting through on the inside. Harris makes it round the outside. Again, it's a Peterborough rider who has the advantage, but he has Chris Harris on his tail. Christoph Bukowski leads. Chris Harris will drive down the inside, but Bukowski, who won a race, then he crashed in his next one. He's got the advantage, but he's got Chris Harris right there with him. Harris turns it down the inside. Still Christoph Bukowski with the lead. Pawliczki holding a watching brief in third, and Harris looking to wind up a move, but Bukowski has got so much pace here, and Chris Harris does not have so much pace. Pawliczki has come inside him now. Harris will try and ride the dirt line. Pawliczki holds the inside. No danger arriving from Gomolski, whose win, of course, in his last ride was important for the Panthers, and they look set for a fourth victory here, because Bukowski is riding a perfect race here against Chris Harris, who doesn't seem to be able to get a passing move done. Bukowski on that fast line lifts at the back straight for the final time, but he should hold off Chris Harris here, unless Harris can make one last blast around the outside. Bukowski holds it tight and wins Heat 10 for the Panthers. Another Peterborough race win in Heat 10. 4 on the bounce, 4 shared heats on the bounce. Bukowski gates, this time Gomolski does not. There's no consistency in the Panthers side. They're either winning or coming last, but you just get the feeling that if they do hook up a couple of gates together, then the Bees tonight could yet have a big race, a big match on their hands. The win goes the way of Christoph Bukowski, second Chris Harris, third Przemek Pawliczki, 3 apiece, Coventry 33, Peterborough 27. A couple of interesting races on the way here, 11 and 12. First of all, 11 looks like it could favour the Panthers on paper, on the basis they have Pedersen and Sundstrom, who have both won races tonight up against Edward Kennett. Then 12 looks like it might tip Coventry's way with Fisher and Pawliczki against Gomolski and Kozkuch. We've had 4 successive shared heats, all of which have been won by Peterborough riders, so they've been on the money line away from the start. And just as far as Trevor Swales has been concerned, obviously he'd been looking to one of his, or for 2 of his riders to make the start at the same time to gain an advantage. That hasn't really happened. A couple of times Coventry have just had to retrieve situations, most notably Fisher in Heat 9 against Kozkuch. The question is, do the Panthers have enough strength in depth to get a heat advantage before Heats 13 or 15? And if they're going to do that, then Heat 11 is one possibility, you'd say, with Pedersen and Sundstrom. Certainly pressure on Edward Kennett, who goes off the inside. Young Nick Morris going in blue in between Pedersen and Sundstrom, learning all the time, of course, in the Elite League. It's really tough competition, of course, and 5 heats to go, and with 6 points of difference, no one is remotely suggesting this match is anything like over. As I say, if the Panthers can get a couple of race wins backed up by second or third places, they could really close in the closing part of the meeting. There's a little dispute, or sorry, a little dispute, there's a hefty dispute going on here between the start marshal and Nicky Pedersen, who is absolutely adamant that he's going to start where he wants to start, and the start marshal is adamant that he won't. There's a bit of a standoff at the moment, it must be said. Nicky Pedersen looks like he has moved ever so slightly. The 2-minute warning is still flashing, and have they agreed? I think they have formed a compromise there. Nicky Pedersen comes into line on gate number 2. Kennett rides off the inside. Pedersen then gate 2. Morris gate 3. Sundstrom with that fast line round the outside. If he makes a decent start, Nicky Pedersen jumped at the start there. The red lights come on. Pedersen got to the bend. Kennett got to the bend in front of Pedersen, who goes round the outside. The red lights come on from Graham Reeve, and that always had the look about it that we might see a messy start. There'd been so much going on before the race. Nicky Pedersen definitely had a nibble on the way, and I'm sure he didn't touch the tape, so it will be all 4 riders back, and Nicky Pedersen is on his way straight back to the pits and wants some kind of adjustment made. He's beckoning a mechanic to come over, but it will be all 4 back for the restart. Well, just looking at a replay of that Heat 11, there were 2 riders, in fact, making a jump. Actually, Nick Morris on gate 3 and Nicky Pedersen off gate 2. Well, of course, they should be looking in different directions at the starting the magnets when the green light comes on. Morris will be looking to his right and Pedersen to his left. So both end now. Problems for Linus Sundstrom at the starting gate. Can he get the bike going? Yes, he can. Gets back into line on the outside. So that was. And he's still not totally happy with the situation there, Sundstrom, as he comes into line. But yes, that was quite some start to heat number 11. Well, he didn't get very far before the referee called it back, but a bit of jumping from both Morris and Nicky Pedersen. So let's see if they can get to the bend okay this time. 6 points in it, 33-27. Kennett going off the inside. Nicky Pedersen going off gate 2. Nick Morris going off gate 3. Linus Sundstrom going off the outside. And here we go with heat number 11. There's some big races to come tonight before we determine who's getting which Elite League points, and they get away this time cleanly, and it's a great start by Nicky Pedersen, gets to the bend in front of Edward Kennett. Morris goes round the outside, Sundstrom gets the run round the outside going, Morris comes across to block him. Sundstrom made a poor start but did get the outside going. Nicky Pedersen's got the lead here over Edward Kennett. Nick Morris in third place over Linus Sundstrom. That will be an important point if Morris can hold him at bay, and Nicky Pedersen is under pressure from Edward Kennett, who's using the outside, trying to reel in ground, and as we saw a couple of weeks ago around Coventry, Edward Kennett looks quicker than Nicky Pedersen. Can Nicky Pedersen defend? Linus Sundstrom, after a good ride to win his previous outing, is struggling to get to grips with Nick Morris, but Edward Kennett getting ever nearer, turns back up the inside of Pedersen, races into the third bend. Kennett down the inside, you know Pedersen will give it his all around the outside. Pedersen rides the fence, rides the boards, hits the fence, through goes Edward Kennett, through goes Nick Morris. It's Coventry 1 and 2, and Nicky Pedersen's colours are lowered as Morris going to lower the back straight for the final time with the second place. Edward Kennett coming round, Nick Morris coming round for an astonishing 5-1 in heat number 11. Eddie Kennett, Nick Morris over Nicky Pedersen. What a fantastic 5-1 to Coventry. Dramatic stuff there. Great race between Nicky Pedersen and Edward Kennett. Nicky Pedersen is not happy with Edward Kennett, and they're going to clash on the way, and Edward Kennett is furious with Nicky Pedersen. This is what we have Nicky Pedersen back in the Elite League. Flashpoint, controversy, fantastic stuff. Great ride by Edward Kennett to come down the inside, sat it out all the way with Nicky Pedersen. Pedersen had to give way at on the fourth bend, clipped the fence. Nicky Pedersen makes his way off the track, beaten by Nick Morris as well. And Nicky Pedersen is making his way back in. Edward Kennett is walking back into the pits. That's what Speedway is. That's what you get with Nicky Pedersen. He's going to get the boos from the Coventry fans on the way back to the pits for his reaction after the race. But that is what we are all here for. Nicky Pedersen back in the Elite League, being beaten, overtaken by Edward Kennett and Nick Morris, who takes the scalp of Nicky Pedersen, would you believe? Coventry with a stunning 5-1 in heat number 11, and they lead now by 38 points to 28. Well, the stadium absolutely alight from that heat 11. The discussions carried on in the pits long after it. Jeff Davis was taking the photos, we'll see them shortly, and Nick Morris actually won the race amidst all that with Edward Kennett second. Nicky Pedersen, and we watched it again, and quite simply Nicky Pedersen made a mistake. Edward Kennett got down the inside, there was no contact, Kennett was mid-track at worst, and Nicky Pedersen went too wide, hit the fence, and Nick Morris took full advantage. So that's quite some scalp for the youngster in his first one. I don't really understand why Nicky Pedersen had that kind of a reaction. Now, heat number 12 is on the way, and the Panthers are 10 points down, but they aren't using a tactical ride here. They have Gomolski and Kozkuch in the action. It is this stronger Coventry. You could never have seen a Coventry 5-1 in heat 11 there. That was absolutely crazy. And so can the Panthers hit back in heat 12? An amazing result to 11. And that's a race that we've seen a couple of races today that we'll talk about for a long time, and that was certainly one. Ryan Fisher in red, Norbert Kozkuch in yellow, Przemek Pawlicki in blue, and Kasper Gomolski in white. Here we go with heat number 12. Green light comes on then, and away they go. And Gomolski made a pretty good one, but he's been outgated by Ryan Fisher, and now they need to stop the outside run of Gomolski, who's got round the outside. That's what the Panthers want. Pawlicki's going to try and go with him on the inside. Fisher's going to try and go round him. Gomolski really wide off the fourth bend. Now has he gone too wide? He's going to be under threat from both Coventry riders. Pawlicki takes Fisher's line there into the bend, and he turns back quickly on Gomolski. It's Gomolski who's rather hit and miss tonight, but when he's hit he is winning races and looking fast. He leads from Pavlicki, and Pavlicki's got so much space. He turns back down the inside, and they're right back into the bend. Pavlicki passes Gomolski. Gomolski will try and come back at him. He turns back. Pavlicki takes the advantage. Gomolski loses all his momentum. Just about stakes across in front of Ryan Fisher. It's brutal stuff here tonight, and Pavlicki has the advantage, and Fisher is coming past Gomolski as well. Into the last lap, he passes them too. Going to be back-to-back Coventry 5-1s, but Gomolski will try and hit back up the inside. Fisher will go back round him into the bend. They'll trade the elbows going in. Pavlicki with the advantage. Fisher drops it on Gomolski, and Coventry again. A second consecutive 5-1. Epic race again. Pavlicki and Fisher over Gomolski with Koskic at the back. Stunning racing today on Good Friday. We had a belter at the showground this morning. We're having a belter at Brandon tonight, and 2 consecutive 5-1s. That was hard and fair stuff. They were going all over the track. Pavlicki making it happen down the inside, and Gomolski was out of position. Fisher worked it out and came past as well, and those 2 5-1s have completely transformed the meeting here at Brandon tonight. Pavlicki and Fisher over Gomolski, and it's Coventry 43, Peterborough 29. So it's 43-29, but don't let anyone say this meeting is over yet. It certainly is not. The Panthers are using their first tactical ride, and it's Nicky Pedersen who has that tactical ride. Pedersen and Kennett going at each other again. This time gate 1 for Pedersen, gate 4 for Kennett. Throw in Chris Harris and Troy Batchelor, and you've got the makings of quite a race here, heat 13. We've had some stunning stuff so far today. It's been a great day for Speedway, really. The action at both venues has been absolutely top draw. And after, as we said before, the winter of misery for the supporters and really everyone associated with these two clubs, they have gone at it hammer and tongs on the track. It's been absolutely fantastic stuff. And 43-29, the Panthers are going to find it hard, not quite impossible, but very hard to win the meeting. But they could yet mount a dramatic comeback to salvage a point from it, if they can do what they haven't done consistently throughout, which is get 2 of their riders into the first bend first and get themselves clear of trouble. It just hasn't happened so far. They've had the heat wins, but not quite the consistency. Here we go then with heat 13. Nicky Pedersen taking a tactical ride in black and white off the inside. Chris Harris in red off gate 2. Troy Batchelor in yellow off gate 3. Eddie Kennett in blue off the outside. Heat number 13 gets underway, and it's a good start by Edward Kennett going round Nicky Pedersen, who held the inside, who spins completely. He blocks off Chris Harris, but Kennett has the advantage. Kennett's gone round the field. Nicky Pedersen didn't quite make it from the inside. He locked up completely, and now can Chris Harris wind in Nicky Pedersen, because at some point in this race Troy Batchelor is going to have to give way to his teammate. At the moment, Troy Batchelor doesn't appear to know that Nicky Pedersen's there. Edward Kennett's racing off with the lead, and the 2 Panthers riders threatening to ride into each other as Nicky Pedersen gives Troy Batchelor an almighty shove and tries to get through in the second place, and that's going to bring Chris Harris right into the equation. Pedersen moving through in the second, but Batchelor racing Pedersen. This is sensational stuff. The 2 Panthers with Pedersen on a tactical ride are racing each other. Batchelor and Nicky Pedersen. Harris so far can't get himself in play. Nicky Pedersen now in second place. Troy Batchelor in third. Harris is at the back here, but Harris turns back on Batchelor, gets on the back straight for the final time, and Harris doesn't pass Batchelor there. Batchelor comes back at him. They're level into the bend. Harris turns it tight, Batchelor around the outside, Kennett gets the win, Nicky Pedersen second, and does Chris Harris. I think Chris Harris gets third, and that's going to make Troy Batchelor absolutely furious. Batchelor and Nicky Pedersen didn't get the team riding quite right in the Heat 15 at the showground earlier on today, and they certainly didn't get it right there with Pedersen on the tactical ride scoring 4 points. Kennett wins again, but Chris Harris, you were waiting for him to come into the action throughout that race, because the Panthers could not get that tactical ride right as it went, and Edward Kennett is absolutely delighted with that, of course, as he takes the victory, and the race is shared as a 4-all because Chris Harris did take Troy Batchelor on the line, and it's Coventry 47, Peterborough 33. We've got more drama between Edward Kennett and Nicky Pedersen as they make their way back, and now they shake hands. Everyone's disappointed with that now, I think. Kiss and make up. Edward Kennett pushing his bike in. Fantastic stuff. Kennett gets the win. Nicky Pedersen second for 4 points. Chris Bomber Harris was third, 47-33. Tactical ride here for the Panthers in Heat 14. They are 14 points down. They have Bukowski going for the double here, up against Larson and Morris, with Richard Lawson going in yellow off the outside. So an 8-1 to Peterborough here would get that 14-point gap down to 7 and would leave them needing an advantage in heat 15 to salvage a point. If they get a 7-2, then that 14-point gap would come back to 9. They could still do it with a 5-1 in heat 15. But if Coventry can effectively share this race or concede a 6-3, then that 14-point gap would come to 11, and the Panthers would not be able to come back unless they manage to 5-0 in heat 15. So although Bukowski has been quick so far and has won 2 of his races, they need something from Richard Lawson here off the outside against Larson and Morris if they're going to get something from Brandon tonight. That's assuming that Bukowski wins the race. But so many talking points about this Good Friday series of fixtures. Absolutely fantastic. And everyone revelling in Speedway being back when it looked like it wouldn't be. But not only are we seeing Speedway, we're seeing proper Speedway today. Everyone giving it absolutely everything. It's all been fair stuff, it has to be said. It's been right on the edge of commitment, and we've got 2 heats to go. Morris on the inside, the tactical ride, Bukowski on gate 2, Larson on gate 3, Lawson off the outside, green lights on for 14, and away they go. And he's missed the start, Bukowski has missed the start. That could be oh so crucial, because Larson's got the advantage, and Nick Morris goes through into second place. Morris has got the better of Bukowski here, with Lawson at the back, and now if Morris rides 4 sensible laps here, he'll follow Larson home for a 5-1. Bukowski will get that outside wound up. He needs to pass them both, but even if he does that, Lawson's at the back, so I don't think there's any way back here for the Panthers, as Larson for the first time really today has made a good start. Great time to do it. Morris in second place, and Bukowski at the moment can't make any impression with Lawson at the back, and once again we're seeing the talent of Nick Morris really coming to the fore. Sensible ride in 11 to get the better of Nicky Pedersen, would you believe? And now he's got Christoph Bukowski where he wants him on the tactical ride. The build-based speed's coming up with a stunning finish to the meeting. Kenny Larson has the advantage. Nick Morris in second place. Tactical riding Bukowski can make no impression, and the build-based speeds are certainly going to take all 3 points from the meeting and complete a very decent day against the Panthers. Kenny Larson wins heat 14 for the Bees. Another great second place for Nick Morris. Christoph Bukowski couldn't make it work that time, and Richard Lawson at the back. The build-based speeds have come on strong late on at Brandon tonight, and they've got 3 more Elite League points, making it 4 from the day, and that will do very nicely indeed. Larson gets the win, Morris second, Bukowski doesn't double up with 1, and it's Coventry 52, Peterborough 34. So we've reached heat 15, we've reached heat 30 effectively of the day. What a day it's been, and Coventry will be happy enough to take 4 points from the day. The Panthers take the 2 from their home meeting. Bit of debate about the lineup for heat 15. I think the situation, they wanted to nominate Pavlichki to Coventry. I don't think he's eligible based on programme rides. So that's what Michael Max, who's been driving Nick Morris around today, is telling me. He's got his finger on the buttons. He's very good with stats like that, so he's keeping me informed. So Pavlichki will finish up with 11 paid 13. Nick Morris with 7 paid 9. The Bees have made hay at reserve tonight. Been absolutely fantastic. It will be Kenny Larson and Chris Harris going in heat 15. And for the Panthers, it's Nicky Pedersen and Linus Sundstrom. Panthers will be disappointed here that tonight they've had promising signs from pretty much all of their riders, but have not quite been able to carry that promise into 5-1s and 4-2s, and even if they do so now, it'll be too late. Pedersen off the inside, Larson off gate 2, Sundstrom off gate 3, Harris off the outside. They fly away for heat 15, and Pedersen gives Larson an almighty shove on the first bend. Everyone turns back. Larson hits the fence, Chris Harris charges through, gets past 1, gets past 2. Chris Harris made the cutback, and Nicky Pedersen will try and come back on Chris Harris. Sundstrom battling as well. Pedersen blasts down the inside. Trademark ride from Nicky Pedersen. So hard on Chris Harris. It's a great ride as well by Pedersen. Just about fair. Left Harris just enough room. Harris will try and come back on Nicky Pedersen, who looks like he's going to finish off with a victory, although not if Chris Harris can do anything about it. Pedersen and Harris trading blow for blow. And really, Nicky Pedersen has beaten up both Coventry riders here in Heat 15. Kenny Larson made a good start but didn't quite make it above Nicky Pedersen, and he had a wild ride on the first bend, and it looks like Nicky Pedersen might have the final word here tonight, but Chris Harris is still battling all the way, guesting tonight Bomber, but he's still battling hard for Coventry on the back straight for the final time, and it's Nicky Pedersen with the advantage. Harris coming round the outside, Harris going really fast, Pedersen holds it tight, and Nicky Pedersen is there in Heat 15 to complete an epic night of racing. Chris Bomber Harris in second place. Hard but fair Nicky Pedersen, very hard indeed, and he gets past and they shake hands as well. That's the kind of thing we'll see in the Grand Prix in a couple of weeks' time. Pedersen and Harris going at it, hammer and tongs. Lena Sundstrom in third. Panthers started with a 4-2, they finished with a 4-2, but the Bill-based Bees was stronger down the line, and the final score is Coventry 54, Peterborough 38.
Eddie Kennett, what a terrific meeting again tonight.
Yeah, proud of the boys again tonight, and I'd like to say thank you for Chris Harris for stepping in as a good guest, because he sort of knows his way around this place pretty well. And yeah, it was all good team performance from the boys, and I'm proud of them, and just hopefully got a bit of a gap now, so sort of we can get going for the next meeting.
To take 4 points out of today, you'd have topped that at the start of the day.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we was unlucky not to win at Peterborough, really. I think the boys rode really well there, and yeah, it's nice to take all the points tonight, and we just got to carry it on to the next meeting.
Had a bit of a tussle tonight, should we say, with Nicky?
Yeah, it's just one of them things. It's a bit racing. He thought I was perhaps a bit hard on him, but then I know he can. When I looked at it, I thought it was a fair ride, but I'm sure he'll remember it and try and give it back to me. But that's racing. At the end of the day, I'm out there to do a job for my team, and yeah, it's just racing.
But also, I mean, it gets the crowd going. That's what
Yeah.
we've been lacking, really.
Yeah, that's it. I think it was a bit of a turning point in the meeting, really. I mean, it sort of fired all the boys up, and they sort of went out there and all went gun blazing, and which was good, really. But I didn't really want to happen like that. But there you go. That's what it is, and it was a lot of good crowd here tonight, and the support from the fans. So it was a good meeting.
Nick,
Yep.
what a great meeting for you tonight.
Yeah, it was good. Ended real well. Didn't start too good, but I'm glad it ended good. So yeah.
Well, you beat Nicky Pedersen again.
Again, I've only beat him once, but it's good enough for me, I guess.
You must be really pumped about that, though.
Oh yeah, well, it's definitely something to remember, and it's definitely a good goal for the start of the season, and hopefully I can beat a few more riders of his calibre.
I mean, you struggled today at the showground. I mean, you really tried hard just for the paid two, but I mean, tonight you really stepped it up.
Yeah, well, it took me a while to get my bike set up at Peterborough, but I got it set up in my third ride and it wasn't so bad. But when you got Policki at reserve, you've got to really be on it to keep your ride. So, nah, it's all right. I'm glad I got it sorted tonight.
And you're certainly enjoying your speedway since you came to Coventry.
Yeah, it's good. Didn't expect it, and I'm so glad that I'm here.
And all this money you're making.
It just goes bloody on bikes, straight down on them.
But that's what you've got to do, haven't you? You've got to invest in your machinery.
Yeah, well, you've got to. When you're up at this league, nothing's good enough, so you've just got to keep spending, and everything you make, you put back into it.
And the problem is now you can't wait for the next race to start.
No, I've got a busy week now. I'm at Glasgow Sunday and Newcastle Monday on TV, and Sheffield Thursday, and so it's good. I'm good that I got the meetings now that Coventry are having a little break, so it's good.
You show everybody how good you are on Monday then.
I'll see how the night goes.
Well, thanks for talking to us. Well done for today.
No worries, thanks, eh?
So a great night of racing at Brandon. Finishes 54 to the Bees, 38 to the Panthers, and for Coventry, Chris Harris scored 10. Rider replacement at number 2, Ryan Fisher 8 and 2, Kenny Larson 8 and 2, Edward Kennett 10 and 1, Nick Morris 7 and 2, Shamek Pavlitsky 11 and 2, and for the Panthers, Nicky Pedersen 11, Lena Sundstrom 7, Kasper Gamolski 4, Christoph Bukowski 7, Troy Batchua 6, Norbert Koskuch 2, and Richard Lawson 1+1. A terrific day of racing, a terrific meeting at Brandon. Coventry take all 3 points, beating Peterborough by 54 points to 38. That's all for us tonight here on Clean Cut Sports. Hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did. A very good night.
Certainly none of the Ross that's moved us up the lead.